These scenes were filmed in the spring of 2002 in Sanadinovo, a social care home for women with mental disabilities in northern Bulgaria. For Amnesty International, the conditions of gross neglect existing in Sanadinovo and other social care homes in Bulgaria violate basic human rights. Amnesty became aware of such conditions thanks to the work of a local human rights organization, the Bulgarian Helsinki Committee.
When I heard that the Bulgarian Helsinki Committee was monitoring the situation in the social care homes, I decided to join their first visits, and the findings were so appalling that I decided to propose to my colleagues here. This would be a major project for us to embark on to cover the range of abuses to which people with mental disabilities in Bulgaria are subjected to on a daily basis. The striking comments that I've heard is that this is not a place for human beings, and I've heard it in several institutions now. The residents with whom I've spoken were concerned that the conditions were such that people were dying, and their comment over and over again was that such an institution should be closed down. The appalling material conditions and the lack of adequate medical treatment result in deaths of residents. In one of the places, Dragaš Vojvoda, there were 22 deaths in 2001. That is close to 18% of the population of that home.
In April 2002, after a 7-month campaign on these issues, Amnesty published a report on the conditions in Sanadinovo. In May, the Bulgarian authorities decided to close the institution. However, since Sanadinovo is by no means an exception within the system of social care homes in Bulgaria, for Amnesty, the campaign continues.
So from Trikladensee, we went
In July 2002, Amnesty campaigner Teresa Fries set out on a further monitoring mission. Part of her brief was to follow up on the Sanadinovo women who have now been moved to other institutions. Working with Slavka Kukova of the Bulgarian Helsinki Committee, she visited a number of social care homes that are of concern to Amnesty.
All right, so these are some of the new rooms for the women here, and you can see they're cleaning up, but there's quite a stench already. So the room smells of feces. You can see that the living conditions have improved, although the fact that there's still quite a stench and that they're cleaning up as we're here rather than before, as they should be. Material conditions, there are some improvements. Unfortunately, however, some of the conditions have not improved at all. You can still see traces of feces on the walls, on the beds, on the floors in the bathroom, and on the ground. Especially that woman over there, because she smells pretty good.
Категорично условията в социалните домове са много по-лоши от условията в затвора или в следствения арест. Хранодена в един социален дом е много по-нисък от този, който получават затворниците. Медицинското обслужване е също на по-ниско ниво.
Wonder when the last time was that she bathed. One of the bedridden women, she was in completely filthy conditions. Her hair was very dirty. It was obvious that she had not been bathed for some time, and there were flies all over her. So for some women, the conditions haven't changed at all. There's no individual treatment, no rehabilitation. You can change the conditions, living and material conditions, but unless there's staff that can actively care for these women, nothing's really going to change. I find it disturbing to finally come here and to see what a social care home for women is actually like. and to see how difficult it is for them to be living here. We're in the middle of nowhere, just walking around and talking to them and trying to whisper to you, saying, look, we want to get out of here.
These are institutions away from the attention of anybody. They're away from the attention physically as a location, as well as away from the political attention of anybody. And here is where all the problems of these institutions come from. Lack of budget, lack of appropriate staff to take care of the people, lack of medical care. And this especially exacerbated in the situation of economic crisis that the country has been experiencing since 1989. And at present, all these institutions are basically places of inhuman and degrading treatment of all the inmates.
Within the system of social care homes, the situation of children is of particular concern to Amnesty.
When they're not playing or when they're not walking around, she's saying that they stay in this room. So clearly you can see that the kids have been in this room. The room is warm. You can feel a lot of the breath, the heat from the children. Clearly these children have been in this room for quite a while.
Всъщност в България 35 000 деца са настанени в 359 институции. Но децата с увреждания, тъй като са считани за необучаеми, отиват към Министерството на труда и социалната политика. И това са вече тези домове, като този в Трикладенци. Това са необучаеми деца и тяхната съдба, както виждаш, е цял живот от дом в дом. От дома майка и дете или дом за медико-социални грижи отива в дом за деца и младежи с умствена изостаналост и след 18 години до смъртта в дом за възрастни. Горе-долу това е път. Поне ние за тези 2 години, които имахме наблюдение в домовете, установихме, че има. Почти във всеки дом има или единични случаи, а като в домовете в Петрово и Михалци открихме цели групи от по 10 деца, които са без увреждания, съхранен интелект или лека степен на умствена изостаналост, но са там, тъй като имат тежко физическо увреждане. Например, и никъде не са ги искали да бъдат настанени.
We have seen young people in institutions for adults who have graduated from children's institutions, who are completely unable to communicate with the outside world, who are unable to help themselves to do anything independently.
От кога си тук, Елеонора?
Не, от отдавна ме остави.
Оставите?
Остави ме тук и ме нещо.
Какво ти казва? Какво ти казва?
Добра съм, мама.
Не, тя защо не те иска, Ленче?
Що съм ги била за това?
In the nearby children's home at Mogilino, the Amnesty team again found that simply improving facilities does not of itself guarantee better care. In this instance, a new rehabilitation room appeared to be almost completely unused.
За съжаление, по отношение на рехабилитацията, може да се каже, че тя е много слабо провеждана, почти липсваща. Аз смятам, че тук има деца, които биха могли да бъдат по-активни и да ходят, а това не се случва, защото работата на рехабилитатора явно не е на ниво.
The children's recreational time was spent lined up in this bare room, the only source of stimulation, a television showing an English language play.